So today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite fights of all time, Superman versus Wonder Woman. So let's dive right on in. Rocketed to Earth as an infant from the doomed planet Krypton, Kal-El was adopted by the loving Kent family and was raised in America's heartland as Clark Kent. Using his immense solar-fueled powers, he became Superman to defend mankind against all manner of threats while championing truth, justice in the American way. Now, Superman is arguably the strongest hero in the DC Universe, and has performed some truly incredible feats of strength, even helping to move the entire Earth before, alongside Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter. He's also held a miniature black hole in his hands, destroyed a moon, although he was knocked out by the force of the blast, and has beaten down Darkseid and Doomsday. Superman has the ability to move at faster than light speeds, and his top speed hasn't even really been calculated, but it is generally assumed that he is slower than the Flash. In battle, Clark can move so fast that his opponents actually seem slower in comparison, which allows him time to dodge attacks and plan out his next course of action. He's able to land hundreds of strikes in just a few seconds, and his mind is just as fast too, allowing him to process and understand vast amounts of information almost instantaneously. Superman is one of the most durable beings in existence, able to withstand bullets, missiles, bombs, and other man-made weapons without a scratch. In fact, you're more likely to hurt yourself by punching Superman than actually hurting him. However, it's not impossible to injure the Man of Steel. Characters with super strength, like Mongol, Despero, and Doomsday, have injured Clark before, and he's also been hurt by powerful energy attacks. Superman has limitless stamina, as long as he's exposed to yellow sun radiation, and his body also emits a gravitational field that enables him to defy gravity and fly at faster than light speeds. Kal-El has the ability to suck in large amounts of air into his lungs, and then create strong gusts of wind with it. He's even able to control the temperature with which he expels the wind. Superman also has the ability to convert stored solar energy into beams of thermal energy that can reach a temperature comparable to stars. He is a capable fighter, and has a knowledge of boxing, brawling, and pressure points, but he is by no means an expert fighter, instead relying on his incredible powers to win the fight. It's also important to note that Superman is still immortal, which makes him susceptible to magic and magical items like Wonder Woman's tiara and her sword. And in the other corner we have Wonder Woman, the princess of the Amazons and armed with the powers of a god. Wonder Woman is one of the Earth's most powerful defenders of peace and equality and a member of the Justice League. She's often considered an archetype for the comic book superheroine, and she stands for love, peace, and above all else, truth. Wonder Woman's powers are a result of a blessing from the gods, and she is one of the most powerful superheroes in the DC Universe. Her super strength is comparable to the Earth itself, and she's on the same level as Superman and Shazam. She's even been able to move the Earth alongside Clark and Martian Manhunter, and with the launch of the New 52, when Diana removes her bracelets, her strength greatly increases and she goes into a berserker rage. Wonder Woman's top speed has never been documented, but she is faster than half the speed of light and is able to keep up with characters like Jesse Quick. However, because of Diana's years of combat training, her reflexes even surpass the likes of Superman. She has an insane level of durability, and can resist thermonuclear explosions, hellfire, Superman's heat vision, and has withstood attacks from the Man of Steel and even gods. She can fly at hypersonic speeds, does not grow tired, and has incredibly enhanced senses. She has been granted a degree of wisdom by the goddess Athena, which greatly helps with her tactical ability, and she's among the smartest and wisest members of the Justice League. Wonder Woman is a master of armed and unarmed combat, and is trained in a variety of different forms of martial arts. In fact, Batman considered her to be the greatest melee fighter on the planet, even putting her above Superman thanks to the extent of her training and her powers. Wonder Woman was gifted with the lasso Truth, which is forged by the Greek god Hephaestus, and is unbreakable and forces people to tell the truth. She also has the bracelets of Victory, which are a pair of indestructible steel cuffs that are forged from the remains of Zeus's shield. Wonder Woman can use her reflexes to deflect projectiles, blades, punches, and even Darkseid's Omega beams. When Diana crosses them to protect herself, the bracelets generate an energy shield, and they can protect her from large explosions and collisions. She's also learned how to emit a devastating lightning attack thanks to the bracelet's connection to Zeus. Wonder Woman also has a magical sword that she uses specifically against people with invulnerability, because invulnerability generally doesn't work against magical items. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. So first, let me just say this is an insanely close fight, and you could legitimately make a compelling argument for either side. That's kind of the draw of these close fights. Either side could really win, but I'm just going to come right out and say it. I believe that Wonder Woman will win in a hard-fought fight if she gets her magical sword. You know what? I can hear it right now. I can hear y'all calling it unfair that I gave Diana her sword in this fight. So I'll take it away. I still believe that she takes the slight majority over the big blue Boy Scout, and I'm gonna spend the rest of this video trying to convince you why. Now there's no question that Superman is more powerful. Wonder Woman herself has even admitted that. But they're not too terribly far apart. For instance, they both help to pull the Earth, and they both help to lift the Spectre. They're pretty equal in terms of strength, even though Superman is stronger. There's also no question that Superman is also more durable, but Wonder Woman has actually fought Clark multiple times before and done just fine, so I'm not super worried about her durability. Finally, Superman is in fact faster, but thanks to Wonder Woman's training, she has much better reflexes. While Superman has to think through his next moves and what he's going to do in a fight, it is all instinct and second nature to Wonder Woman, which gives her an actual advantage in terms of combat speed. It's like asking who's faster, Usain Bolt or Bruce Lee. The answer is it depends on the context. And in a fight, Bruce Lee is faster. Same situation here. In a fight, Wonder Woman is faster. You also have to take into account Diana's actual fighting ability and martial arts experience. I mean, Batman has said himself that Wonder Woman is the best fighter on the planet, making the conscious decision to put her before Superman. And for an example, let's take a look at this fight between Wonder Woman and Superman. And yes, I know Clark was mind controlled in this fight, but it was also a highly advanced form of mind control, and Martian Manhunter himself said that Clark was still able to think for himself and form strategies while under the influence of Max Lord, so it still counts. So to start off the fight, Superman believes that Wonder Woman is Doomsday, and hits her with everything he's got, sending her from outer space crashing back to Earth. It's also important to note that Superman is in direct exposure to the sun, so he's getting a slight ant from that as well. But once Wonder Woman gets out of that crater, the entire fight shifts in her favor. She's able to escape his freeze breath and then wisely uses his super senses against him and makes his ears bleed with her attack. Wonder Woman is then able to land 3 direct hits on Clark, and while she does miss with her lasso, she's able to dodge his heat vision. Even though Clark is finally able to grab her and break her wrist, Diana still dodges another punch and more heat vision and lands a devastating kick on him. She even mentioned that she was still slightly holding back because she knows Superman isn't the real enemy. Finally, Wonder Woman is actually able to surprise Superman and sliced his throat with her tiara, winning the fight. And I know some people use Superman's superior power to say that he would win. But let's change the focus a little bit, because we might be a bit too close to these characters. Let's say Batman and Bane are fighting. While Bane is no doubt physically superior and has defeated Bruce before, Batman generally wins because of his superior fighting ability. Same concept here. And yes, you could argue that Superman could just expand his heat vision till Diana can't dodge it. But when she puts her bracelets together, they form a shield that not even gods could penetrate. Plus, she can summon lightning that has been able to hurt gods before, but I'm not convinced that she has complete control over that ability just yet. I really believe that it would take Superman acting out a character in order to consistently win, like throwing Wonder Woman directly into the sun, or trying to kill her, and that's just not gonna happen. So even though I know I haven't convinced all of y'all that Superman wouldn't take home the victory, I hope I've made a compelling enough argument for why I believe that Wonder Woman will win. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sound off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button for videos just like this one every single week.